Are you tired of launching Fox 3s and watching them miss every single time? Whether it's the AIM-120, Fakour-90, AIM-54s, or the R-77. If you're struggling to get kills, this video is exactly what you need. I'll be showing you what Fox 3 missiles actually are, how they work, and most importantly, how to use them properly. And if you're not confident with radar controls yet, don't worry. I've got a separate video for that. Check the link on the screen or in the description. So, without wasting any more time, let's crack straight into the guide and learn how to master Fox 3 missiles. So first off, what even is a Fox 3 missile? Fox 3 is just a NATO callout for an active radar-guided missile. That means it has its own onboard radar, unlike other missiles that need you to keep radar lock all the way until impact. With the Fox 3, your jet guides it at first, but once it gets close enough, called the Pitbull range, it turns on its own radar and starts chasing the target independently. From that point, it doesn't need you anymore. So what does that mean in game? Basically, you can launch a missile, break lock, and defend yourself while the missile does the rest. That's why they're so powerful. But to actually make use of them, you need to understand radar, launch timing, and how to stay alive after firing. Most jets that carry Fox 3s come with two key radar modes, TWS, also known as the track while scan. This mode lets you track multiple targets without alerting them that they are being locked. This is perfect for sneak attacks. You'll get a soft lock and can fire Fox 3s without triggering the enemy's RWR right away. TWS works especially well at the start of the game when you're flying high and see multiple targets heading your way. You can launch multiple missiles at different enemies without any of them realizing it until it's too late. STT or single target track. This is a hard lock. The enemy will get a radar warning instantly. The benefit is that it gives your missile more accurate updates. If your TWS launches are missing often, switch to STT for a stronger track. Use TWS when you're going for sneaky early game shots against multiple targets, and use STT when you need accuracy or when stealth doesn't matter anymore. Now let's talk about the missile guidance stages. When you fire a Fox 3, the missile starts in mid-course guidance. This means it's flying based on updates from your jet. You'll see a dashed line on your HUD going to the target. That tells you that the missile is getting info about the target's location from your radar. Once the missile reaches Pitbull range, which is about 16 kilometers for most missiles, it goes fully active. That dashed line turns solid and the missile is now hunting the target on its own. Now once the missile goes active, the enemy's advanced RWR will pick up the missile's radar, and they'll get a warning that a missile is incoming. Even if they didn't know earlier, they'll know now. So once Pitbull happens, expect your enemy to go defensive fast. What's important to know here is if you break lock before Pitbull, your missile goes into IOG, inertial only guidance. That means it just flies towards where the target was last seen. If the enemy changes direction, your missile won't know and it'll likely miss. So, try to hold your lock until Pitbull, unless you're being targeted yourself and need to dodge. Now, let's talk about target selection and altitude. Before you even fire a missile, your setup matters a lot. First, climb high. Firing from high altitude gives your missile more energy. It lets the missile glide down with speed and hit targets faster before they can react. Second, choose the right targets. You want to aim for players that are flying straight, ones that aren't paying attention or haven't started maneuvering yet. You'll see a small lead indicator attached to the box on the target you're about to launch on. That circle is actually a missile lead indicator. It shows you where to launch your missile so it has to burn less energy while traveling towards the target. If the circle is steady and not jumping around, it means the target's movement is predictable. That makes them a perfect candidate for a Fox 3 hit. You can also see on your radar HUD, it has small lines indicating the path the target is traveling in. That's the path of flight of the target. If those lines are pointing straight ahead, that usually means the target is flying predictably and is a good pick. But if they're flying sideways, especially perpendicular to you, you should avoid targeting them because they are already notching and defensive against your radar. So, avoid launching at targets that are already defensive, ones that are notching, diving, or turning perpendicular to your radar. Someone is already reacting, your missile has much lower chance of hitting. Now, here's the key point that people mess up all the time: the launch timing. You want to fire first before the enemy fires at you. If they launch first and you're still guiding a missile in, you're now in a super risky spot. You'll either lose the lock trying to dodge or get hit while flying straight, and boom, you're the server's newest fireworks. Ideally, you want to fire when the enemy is within the no escape zone. That's the range where even if they start dodging immediately, they're likely not going to make it out. But getting that close can be dangerous, especially when multiple enemies are flying towards you. In that case, fire from a range where you are confident you can go defensive right away. Don't get greedy. You're not trying to be Top Gun, you're trying to survive and get the kill. Now, let's talk about cranking. Once you've launched your missile, don't just keep flying straight at the target. That's how you get yourself killed. Instead, start cranking. That means turn about 40 to 50 degrees off your target's nose, left or right, while keeping the target just barely on your radar's HUD. You're guiding the missile from the edge of your scope. This has two benefits. First, it makes it hard for the enemy Fox 3s to hit you. You're not flying straight anymore, so you're less predictable. Second, your missile gets radar updates, and you can quickly break and go cold, that is turn away if needed. You see a missile coming at you, this gives you the option to notch it, drop chaff, or just turn and run without losing your missile's guidance before it hits. So crank, guide your missile till it goes Pitbull, and then go full defensive if you need to. Now let's talk about how to dodge any Fox 3 missiles that are coming towards you. Dodging Fox 3s isn't exactly rocket science. Oh wait, it is. The best way to survive is notching. That means turning exactly 90 degrees from the enemy's radar's direction. Why? Because most radars, especially older pulse Doppler radars, can't track you well when you're not moving towards or away from them. They lose the closure rate they need to maintain the lock. But there's more. When you're flying sideways in a notch, the missile has to constantly pull high G turns to try and keep up with your movement. That drains its energy fast, it slows down, becomes less maneuverable, and is way more likely to miss. You'll know it's worked when your RWR stops beeping and you get the missile evasion notification on your screen. Going cold is another method for dodging Fox 3s. If you've already launched your missiles and you're being locked up or fired on, just turn around and run, literally. Going cold, turning away from the enemy reduces your closure rate, making it harder for their missiles to keep locked. It also buys you time to notch again, deploy chaff, or drag the missile into the ground. This is a solid tactic after you've done your part offensively. Another method for dodging Fox 3s is multipathing, also known as terrain masking. Just fly low, really low. If you're under about 60 meters, the ground itself can help you break the missile's lock. That's called multipathing or terrain masking. The idea is that radar signals bounce off the ground or get cluttered, so the missile can't see you clearly anymore. You can also use multipathing by flying behind hills, ridgelines, or mountains. Use terrain as a physical barrier between yourself and the missile. If the missile can't see you because there's a chunk of earth in the way, it will lose lock or slam straight into the ground. Now let's talk about using chaff at the right time. Most players mess this up, including me. They spam chaff right after the missile launches, but if the missile is still being guided by the launching jet, the chaff does nothing. The right move, wait for the missile to go Pitbull. When it turns on its own radar, that's when the missile can be tricked by countermeasures. So best move is start notching before Pitbull, then spam chaff once the missile goes active. That combo gives you the best shot at survival. If this helped you understand how to use Fox 3 missiles better, how to dodge them, drop a like and subscribe. There's more coming on advanced radar controls, missile types, and top tier gameplay. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the skies.